Last time on the PRS, bareback rider Jared Keelan took over the lead in the world standings after Lexington, only to be bumped by a surging Matt Bright. In bull riding, Garrett Tribble has rocketed to the top of the world standings just a few days after turning 18 years old. And in saddle bronc, the unstoppable J.J. Elsher is in a familiar place, in first place. But the challenge from veteran rider Eric Wolford has never been greater. This gritty all-around cowboy is determined to put Elsher in his rear-view mirror sooner rather than later. Things are changing fast in the early season, so fasten your seatbelt. It's time to let her buck as the PRS rolls through the tip of Texas. We're at the Rio Grande Valley Livestock Show. This event is now in its 76th year, still growing strong. Here you'll find a showcase of the best in South Texas agriculture, and tonight, a showcase of sheer bucking power with the first ever PRS Bulls, Broncs, and Bucks. Hello everyone, I'm Justin McKee alongside world champion bareback rider Kelly Timberman and PBR finalist Gordon McCoy. We're glad to have you with us here on RFD TV tonight. It's a beautiful night here in the Valley, and we've got a sold-out house for this one, Kelly.
Yeah, it could not be a more perfect evening for a rough stock event. All the people down here have welcomed us with open arms. The rodeo committee has bent over backwards to make sure that we have a world-class event. And right now, there's cars piling up behind us just trying to get in, and it looks like a sold-out house already.
Well, that'll give us a couple of minutes to get everybody caught up at home on what's going on. And, of course, things are changing fast here in the early season. And what has impressed you most about the bareback running competition?
Well, there's three riders specifically, Jared Keelan, Josie Young, and Matt Bright. Matt is the current season leader. I like his draw tonight. He has a picket horse named Prairie Winds. And from what he told Kayla Zadell, he has good success on this horse.
You know, when you've had past success on a horse, it always helps you to be a little more confident the next time you get on him and knowing that you've got a chance to win something. So hopefully, you know, it'll work out like it has in the past and we can get something done.
Being number one in this season comes with a target on your back. Matt says that at least one other rider is taking aim at him.
I'm really good friends with Josie Young, and Josie's always one of the front runners here in the PRS. So he hasn't been to as many events as me this year, so you know I've got a little bit of a leg up on him. So I've been ribbing him quite a bit about being number one in the standings and how I was going to make him come get me this year and stuff like that. So we have a lot of fun with it.
Between Josie, Jared, Caleb, and Matt, it should be some good watching.
All right, let's start with Jared Smith, originally from Florida, man who's qualified for the national finals. The old wild hog hunters on Night Stalker from Pickett Pro Rodeo.
Yeah, Jared, he was sidelined for most of all of last year, probably about 8 months with an injury. This is one of his first PRS events back since then. He's kind of one of the fan favorites. He's a little guy that always looks good on horses. He's just got something to him that makes everything look rank, or he just maybe just antagonizes him just enough to make those horses really buck.
So the score's coming in. 82.5 is a nice welcome back for Jared Smith, who's now making his home in Eastland, Texas. 26-year-old will set the pace here in Mercedes as we go to Smiley. Here's Caleb Bennett. He is on Top Shelf from Pickett Pro Rodeo.
Yeah, Caleb, he's such a great kid. I got a chance to rodeo with him for quite a few years, and he's got a great work ethic. He is fun to be around, and you know, we're always joking going down the road, but he was always teasing me about being the kid and him being the adult because he's pretty serious at times. But great bareback rider, really sets his feet hard, turns his toes out. That horse was wanting to kind of quit on him a little bit, but he just kept building that ride and picking her up and staying consistent. Got kind of out of whack, and I bet he's happy he didn't land in those signs right there.
Yeah, well, it's an 83-point ride. I think he got out of whack after the 8 seconds.
I love that person.
As we go to the number 11 bareback rider in the world, Eric Wolford on Scarlet Knight from Pickett Pro Rodeo.
Yeah, Eric's been dealing with a neck injury from a bit of last year, and he rides both events, bareback and the saddle bronc riding. And right here, he drew a horse that's a lot of fun, kind of showy, wants to turn back, get in the air a little bit. Not a lot of kick, you know, didn't have that difficulty. But man, he sat up there, started the horse correctly. Good start with those front feet in the front, or those feet in the front end of the horse. Picked her up, and as she started turning around, he just did everything he could to help showcase that animal and make a great ride.
Well, judges not too impressed. 77.5 is all Eric Wolfer is going to get out of that effort here tonight.
He needed more horse.
Now we're looking for the top 4 for next week's shows. We go now to Taylor Price, Huntsville, Texas. Here's the man who won the American and almost $400,000. He's on Passionate Kisses from Pickett Pro Rodeo.
He's a true professional athlete. He went through the college ranks. He's got 2 degrees, one in criminal justice. This is a very educated man. And on top of that, when you're able to go to college on a rodeo scholarship, you adhere to that work ethic. But he's got family that go all the way back to that were in the police department. His dad is a retired sheriff in the police department, so he knows what it is to work hard and be the very best. And he's well deserved of that chunk of that million that he won.
75 points for Price as we go to Josie Young, number 5 in points. Here's the man who has the highest score in PRS history with a 93.5 last year. The horse here is ducking and diving, called Real Emotion.
Yeah, Josie, he's done a few things different this year. Right before this event, he changed the rowels on his spurs to a bigger set. He had kind of I would think they were about a 1/2-inch rowel, which is really small for a bareback rider. It's just like a tire. The bigger the rowel, the faster the tire rotation, and or the quicker it is up to the rigging handle. So what he did here is he changed his rowels, gives him a little bit more freedom in those legs, takes a little bit less abuse away from the animal and helping them out. He kind of got away from him a little bit at the end, and those judges really hammered him for that. He didn't finish that ride very strong.
Here's the number 3 rider in the world, last year's top rookie, Jared Keelan, won 3 events last year. He's on Scarlet Bell from Pickett Pro Rodeo.
Electric right out of there. For a fact that this horse is going to showcase his very best riding, and Jared loves those horses. He loves those ones that just have that pizzazz because he can stay right up there, stay consistent. He knows how to ride this horse. He's strong enough to keep his balance right in the middle of her so he's not taking her off her feet when she's doing those wild jumps. And then from there, it's just all bareback glory. Go for it all and stick her in the main line.
Jared Keelan does that as good as anybody. He was 2nd in Lexington. He won the Longo in Jackson with a 91. This guy is doing quite well. He takes the lead now with an 85. As we go to the leader for the season, here's Matt Bright. We've been talking to him. This is Prairie Winds, the horse he likes very well.
Yeah, Matt's been on this horse about 3 times, and the horse is just real nice and consistent. Just what a guy would call a money horse. Comes around there to the right, kind of got balled up in the fence a little bit, cost him to lose his track a little and not really stay consistent with that kick, but Matt, he just sat up there, made a very consistent ride like he has been all year this year, and should be a decent score.
He won Lexington after winning the short go, the long go, and the average. He gets the 82, and the season leader is going to slip in to the Wrangler Final 4 showdown round on next week's show. So that's how they're stacked up here in round 1. Jared Keelan gets another go-around win. Caleb Bennett is number 2. Jared Smith is 3rd, and Matt Bright, he is going to get into the championship round. Right now, let's hear from Jared Keelan.
I'd come down here, didn't really know a lot about that horse, and a buddy of mine had come up and said that he kind of knew what that horse was, said it had been really good here lately. It's just a younger horse, and so I kind of went with that, and it turned out everything he said was true, which is always the way you want it to be.
We're just getting started here at the Rio Grande Valley tonight. Bull riding is next. Be sure to join the growing number of fans who have already signed up for the PRS Rough Cuts fan newsletter. Stay in touch with special offers for merchandise and tickets and receive behind-the-scenes stories and videos from the PRS Tour. One thing's for sure, they love their bull riding here in South Texas. Here's Tyler Kajak from Knoxville, Tennessee on Creekwater from J.C. Knapp Rodeo Company. Tyler made the short go in Lexington, and he's trying to become the first guy with a score here in bull riding in Mercedes, and it's not going to happen.
A little Creekwater right there away from his hand in the gate, but there's not that much bull to hang on to, so you can't let it. He kind of got off to the side there a little bit. There's no coming back on that bull. Creekwater just got him rocked to the outside and just stayed ahead of him the whole time.
So we'll go to Toby Collins from Victoria, Australia. Jailbreak from PRS Bucking Bulls is what he'll try to hang on to.
I went and rode bulls in Australia. That's some of the meanest bulls I've ever been around there in Australia.
He goes down.
He kind of deked him a little bit there. The bull went one way and looked, and he was late coming back around the other way. You see it? He looked left. When he come back to the right, he just kind of got to rocking before they even went to spinning there.
So Toby Collins stays on for 5, needs 8. Let's go to John Jacobs. From Little Eagle, South Dakota, he's on Sling Blade from J.C. Knapp Rodeo Company.
Yeah, John, he's been all the way up to number 1 in the standings last year. He's out.
He's out. Ooh, man, Brackett Gittins gets it. Jason McCall trying to get him out of the way, and that bull's wanting to hit somebody.
He still hadn't moved.
Oh, he's down still. Get him out of here. Shut the gate. And hopefully John Jacobs will be able to get out of the arena. What happened here?
I didn't even see where he hit him there, Justin. Oh, he just hit the ground hard enough, I think.
Yeah.
Well, he ain't even moved a finger. That bull just pitching a 10 on him right there. Oh,
Bring the stretcher in.
I tell you, that's the best thing going out of a rodeo arena is an empty stretcher right there. That's the best thing.
So here's Tag Elliott from Thatcher, Utah. Here's the guy who won Jacksonville, the only man to ride 2. He's already up to number 3 in the point standings for the year. He's on Lightning Jack from Joe Wimberly.
Well, about an even set of bulls there.
Oh, no.
I think that bull set up there, and Tag thought he was going the other way. He set up to make the move, go back to the right, and the bull just finished again. Coming around, the bull sets up. Oh, he didn't make the switch there.
Oh, Tag, I bet he's eating that one. I said, man, I should have rode that bull all day long.
Yeah, well, I mean, we get to watch Tag week in and week out, and we know the ability, so, you know, that's caliber bull he's supposed to ride.
Here's the man who won the finals last year, Shane Rickley out of Ohio. He's 4th in the standings, and he's trying to keep up with Whiskey Trip of J.C. Knapp.
Did he make it all the way? I couldn't see from this side. It looked like he's coming close to the ground. See what the judges say.
Yeah, they say he made it. We got a score coming in.
You know, this is kind of the other way. Shane has not been drawing the toughest bulls, but he's been getting them rode, and that's moving him up in the standings every week.
69 points for the number 4 rider this season. Now to the 2013 world champion. Here's McKenna Wimberly from Cool, Texas. He's on Cut Lip from J.C. Knapp. Oh, he had a little change up in that speed department, didn't he?
He did. You know, he went from high leap to kick, and then when his 4 feet hit the ground the next time, he just wrapped her up. You talk about, you know, you have change in direction, but that bull just has just change in jumps there.
Bad timing means a no score, and Wimberly yet to get a score this season.
Well, you know, that's something that starts working on your mind just a little bit. You know, a couple of bad incidents right in a row, you get to doubting your ability, but we know McKenna Wimberly has got it. He'll be back.
Here's the kid everybody's talking about from Slick, Oklahoma. He's sticky, though. Garrett Tribble's number 1 for the season. He's got Get Tricky from J.C. Knapp.
Ooh, and they say in the gate, he is in the gate out there. They couldn't even get the gate shut.
Man alive, that bull got with it.
I like that. You know, that Garrett, he rides good, but let me tell you something about it, though. You get to want it. You can't just pull yourself down there, and we watched him do it last week. He's just wanting it really bad, and you can almost pull yourself over the front. You got to relax and finish that because he's got the ability.
So Shane Rickley will get the win in this go-around. The other 3 riders will make it back to next week's show in the regular Final Four Showdown round based on their time. But Shane Rickley, we caught up with him and asked him about his ride.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but we got the job done. He started around there to the left, and I felt good. And kind of got back on the end of my arm, got sat down, and it was a little ugly at the end there, but luckily made it to the whistle. It's just kind of been one of them nights where none of us are riding that good. It was kind of, I don't know what causes it, but it's kind of a chain reaction sometimes.
Coming next is Saddle Bronc. Heath Danger DeMoss has a new dragon to slay tonight as he gets ready to ride Cowboy Wisdom. Get to know your pro rough stock riders personally each week with the official PRS podcast, Masters of the Ride. You can find it at proroughstock.com. Just click on podcast. Saddle Bronc riding time now, and we've got a rematch here with Heath DeMoss and Cowboy Wisdom. A long-awaited rematch in his mind. Kayla Zadell, fill us in.
You remember Heath DeMoss saying that he's slayed a dragon and rode his unicorn at the World Finals. Well, tonight is another one of those cases. He's drawn Cowboy Wisdom, and this is a horse that bucked him off in Sikeston, Missouri, and broke his back.
Around about 3 or 4 seconds, I got rocked back, and he chunked me over his head. And the way I learned it, I broke 2 or 3 transverse processors in my back and put me out for a couple months. But payback is tonight. I was trying to find him. I ain't found him yet, but I was going to give him the evil eye.
Cullen Colin Pickett says that this horse is going to come out, make 2 jumps, and then circle to the right. It's a solid 22-23 point horse. And I don't know about you, but this is a rematch that I want to see tonight.
When it comes to it, it's the cowboy way. When you get thrown off, you get back on. But it's the rough stock way to, when you get bucked off and get hurt, to get back and go for the win. And no doubt in my mind that he is going to conquer this beast and knock it out of the park.
Let's head to the chutes and start off with the cowboy from New South Wales, Australia, Cody Anglin, who's climbed up to number 13 in the point standings on Pickett Pro Rodeo's Cold Cream Lagoon.
I just love the way this guy rides. He rides barebacks and broncs, one of the strongest guys in professional rodeo. And when he calls to find out his draw, I usually tell him that he's drawing a rhinoceros or a hippo or something, the only thing that could handle that guy's ability and power.
His dad runs a big cattle station there in Australia near Wagga Wagga, New South Wales.
And if anybody knows anything about that area, it's what we call vast and big. There's not too many towns close around, and this guy lives on a ranch and works cows almost every single day of his life.
Came to college at Western Texas College. He'll score 75. Now to Doug Aldridge. Here's the guy that did quite well in Cheyenne Frontier Days last year, finishing the top 2 for the title there out of Carthage, Missouri. And this guy's got fast feet, going up against Special Bonus from Pickett Pro Rodeo.
Yeah, Special Bonus is a big horse. She kind of come out of there and started really good, and looked like she just got lost. Like maybe, wasn't her day today. She has kind of a couple moves right here, about the 3rd jump. Her feet aren't real even, and then she just kind of quits kicking. And, sometimes it's just the luck of the draw, and that horse just wasn't real favorable. Made her real strong, really.
73 points for the Missouri man, Doug Aldridge. We'll go now to the number 2 rider of the season, Eric Wolford. Vanilla Special from Pickett Pro Rodeo. Here's the man who not only is number 2 in the points for the year, but finished 2nd in Jacksonville.
Eric is all cowboy. We saw him ride a bareback horse earlier, coming into a saddle bronc, and that horse right there was strong, lumbering down the pin, not a whole lot of timing, and not a lot of fun to ride. And Eric
not a
had
great
heck
get
of a
off
time.
either. That's kind of
Justin, I was just kind of thinking that it looked like you run that horse a lot of rain, and I had a lot of trouble with that in the bronc riding too, because if you take a real yanking in the bareback riding, you lose that strength, and it's harder to hang on to that rein. And I watched him do that. I've been in that situation when you just can't stop it.
Well, he did let a lot of rain get out from his ham there. 71 points. Let's go to Curtis Garton out of Lake Charles, Louisiana, the guy that made it to the PRS finals last year, climbed to number 2 in the world standings for a while. He got knocked out at the finals. He's on Hidden Freckles from Pickett Pro Rodeo, and I mean, just launched him like a human Scud missile right there.
Why we judge on the quality of that start is so important, because it keeps those horses collected up underneath him. Now, right when he marked that horse out, his feet went straight back to the cinch, and he didn't build that horse up, so the horse kind of felt lost. And then when that horse did decide to buck, the timing was off. When he broke, he was off his swells. He wasn't lifting on his rein, and then just bucked him right off. That's why that start is so important.
Now we'll go to the number 3 rider this season from Florida, originally from Colorado, Ryan Rodewald. He won Lexington. Here is the commercial airline pilot. He's on Faded Star from Pickett Pro Rodeo.
Same thing right there. That the start starts the ride. It goes from every single jump after that, goes right back to the mark out. And he started there, just his feet fell back right away. And when you do that, you lose all the control and the power in your legs. It's hard to stay up underneath your swells. He wasn't lifting on his rein. It was just, sometimes athletes just have those days where nothing goes right from the get-go.
Here's the rematch. The horse that broke his back, Heath DeMoss, up against Cowboy Wisdom from Pickett Pro Rodeo.
Nervy. That's what you got to say right there before you nod your head. You're wondering what's going through his mind. It looked like he was giving this old stink eye right there, and he was going to go for it.
Whoa!
Right to the end, he gave everything he's got. That's why you got to love this guy. He goes at it full-heartedly. Everything he puts into every single ride is directly related to the person he is. And, man, I'm a fan. I mean, a big-time fan of Heath DeMoss.
He is a human 5-hour energy drink right there. Heath DeMoss is going to win the long go with a 76-point ride over Cody Anglin. Doug Aldridge is going to slip in there. Wolford makes it as well with that 71. Let's hear from Heath DeMoss.
I was happy to make it. I didn't know that I did, but I saw one of the judges give a thumbs up to the announcer, and I was just happy to get that sucker back. So.
Now, did Cowboy Wisdom do what it did before?
No, he was a different horse. I think every time I see him, he does something different. And today, he was just really hard to ride and was wanting to get me out to the right of my saddle. And I probably wasn't getting enough drag with my left foot, but it worked out good enough, I guess.
More to come from Mercedes as we highlight the top performances of the night and look ahead to the Final Four matchups. Hey, Rough Stock fans, stay in touch with the PRS through one of our many social media channels. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and subscribe to us on Instagram. Also, Pro Rough Stock has its own channel on YouTube where you can watch past episodes and more behind-the-scenes videos from the tour. Here's where we stand for next week with our Wrangler Final Four Showdown round matchups here in Mercedes. Kelly, who do you like in Bareback?
Well, Jared Keelan, he's got a massive lead coming in the Final Four. Jared Smith has got the sleeper, Freckled Frog. This horse is going to come out to the right, kind of fade to the left a little bit. Should be right in his kitchen. Who knows who's going to win, but Jared Keelan has got a massive lead.
Cord, who do you like in bull riding?
Well, you know, they think the first round is tough in bull riding. Wait till they load these 4 bulls up. Joe Wembley, PRS Bucking Bulls, J.C. Knapp brought 4 of the best. It's going to be one heck of a bull riding.
And in the saddle bronc, Doug Ulrich, kid rode really good. Cody Anglin really impressed me in that long go, but I'm looking for Heath DeMoss to take the lead and Cody maybe to be right behind him.
Time now to award the Kershaw Cutting Edge Performance Highlight of the Night. Cord, who do you like?
Jared Keelan all the way. I think he's been looking sharp all year long. Tonight on Scarlet Bell, wins the round in the bareback riding here at Mercedes. Definitely he wins the cutting edge performance for me.
Absolutely. There's nothing like the best ride, and that was the best ride. There's nothing like a Kershaw. Now let's hand out the top bucking honors with our Bismarck Ranch Big Buck of the Night. This award goes to the top performing animal. And Kelly, I know you've got one.
Yeah, my Bismarck Ranch Big Buck of the Night has got to go to Get Tricky at J.C. Knapp Rodeo. This bull, as soon as that kid nodded his head, was right in the latch there to the left. He's a younger bull, and I'm looking for him to be a superstar in the PRS.
Our Bismarck Big Buck of the Night is sponsored by our good friend Neil Wanless and the crew at the Bismarck Ranch. Bismarck Ranch, ranching the way nature intended. Next week, it's the Wrangler Final Four Showdown round from here in Mercedes, Texas at the Rio Grande Valley Livestock Show. For Cord McCoy, Kelly Timberman, and Kayla Zadell, thanks for spending some time with us tonight. I'm Justin McKee. See you next week.